Welcome to this space, where today we embark on a profound journey into the transformative power of daily habits. Though it may sometimes seem that great changes require drastic actions, the truth is that it is those small, consistent daily practices, worn like gentle threads, that weave the fabric of the life we desire. I want to share with you 5 habits that, if you decide to embrace them, hold the potential to change your life forever. These are not hidden secrets or magical formulas. Rather, they are simple yet profound practices that connect us with the very core of our human nature. To accompany us on this reflection, we turn to the wisdom of Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the most profound thinkers of the 19th century and a leader of transcendentalism. Emerson invites us to recognize ourselves as the conscious architects of our own destiny. He reminds us that the only person you are destined to be is the person you decide to be. At the heart of today's talk lies this truth: the power of decision, conscious action, and loving discipline toward oneself. Each habit we explore will be a key unlocking inner doors you may not yet have discovered, laying the foundation for the most authentic and powerful version of yourself. We will speak of waking early to connect with our deeper selves, organizing the day with meaningful priorities, moving the body to nourish the mind, learning daily to expand our awareness, and closing our days with reflection and gratitude to cultivate inner peace and fulfillment. I invite you to listen attentively, to take what resonates, and to prepare your heart and mind for a change that begins now, in this very moment. Because the journey toward the life you desire is a process that starts with a decision and is nurtured by habits. So without further ado, let us begin this path of transformation together. Waking up early and dedicating time to yourself may sound like a simple phrase, almost a cliché repeated in countless motivational videos, books, and talks. But if we analyze it deeply, especially through the eyes of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the act of waking up early becomes a powerful declaration of self-mastery, of respect for yourself and the life you want to build. Emerson, one of the great 19th century transcendentalist philosophers, firmly believed in the inner strength of the individual, in each person's ability to shape their destiny through conscious actions and connection to their deepest essence. When he said, "The only person you are destined to be is the person you decide to be," he was not only talking about grand gestures or external revolutions, but also, and perhaps most importantly, about those small daily moments of discipline and awareness, when we choose to wake up with intention and purpose. Waking up early is, above all, a manifestation of that intention. When you decide to set your life's clock ahead, when you choose to open your eyes before the noise and external demands fill the day, you gift yourself a unique space to listen, to connect with your inner voice, to plant the seed of what you want to grow during your day. It is that sacred moment when there are no distractions, no pressures, only you and the calm of a world that has not yet accelerated. Imagine starting your day not with the frantic rush of checking your phone, emails, or social media, but with
5, 10, or even 20 minutes dedicated to meditation, conscious breathing, or journaling your thoughts, desires, and goals. That time, however brief, holds incredible transformative power.
It is the space where clear ideas are born, where emotions settle, and where you can truly choose how you want your day to unfold. The self-discipline practiced by waking up early is also an exercise in freedom. It may sound paradoxical, but in the restriction of waking earlier and giving up extra minutes of sleep lies liberation. Liberation from mental chaos, distraction, and the stress caused by feeling perpetually rushed. Emerson said, "Success is not for those who wish, but for those who work hard and consistently." This consistency begins in that seemingly simple daily act, opening your eyes and deciding to be present from the start. Moreover, waking up early directly impacts our physical and mental health. Modern science confirms what philosophy has long intuited. Our body's natural rhythms align with the solar cycle, and respecting these rhythms produces greater well-being, focus, and energy. Those who rise early have the opportunity to synchronize their bodies with nature, starting the day with calm and order, instead of letting haste and anxiety dominate. For Emerson, life should be lived with authenticity and purpose, and none of. This is possible without moments of introspection and connection with oneself. Waking up early is an invitation to be conscious, to choose, and to take responsibility for every moment. It invites us not to be mere passengers of life, but active drivers. Practically speaking, this habit can be adapted to each person. It's not about waking at 4 a.m. if that doesn't suit your natural rhythm or responsibilities, but about finding that extra quiet space before external demands start calling your attention. Use it for meditation, light exercise, reading an inspiring Emerson quote, or simply breathing and appreciating the new day. For those who hesitate or resist, Emerson's teaching is valuable. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. By choosing to wake early, you create your own path, differentiate yourself, and take control. It is a small act that opens the door to great transformations. If you incorporate this habit, you will notice your mind becoming clearer, your emotions steadier, and your day more productive. What may initially seem a sacrifice will become a source of personal power and eventually an indispensable part of your identity. Each morning, by opening your eyes early and dedicating time to yourself, you take a fundamental step toward becoming the person you decide to be, just as Emerson invites us to do through his words and life. In the whirlwind of daily life, organizing the day may seem trivial or even secondary. However, if we listen to the timeless voice of Ralph Waldo Emerson, we realize that it is not merely practical, but a profound philosophical act, a concrete manifestation of our power to govern our lives with purpose and clarity. Emerson spoke often about self-governance, the individual's ability to be the master of their mind, emotions, and of course time. Life is a journey, not a destination, he reminds us. And in this journey, every decision about how we use our hours and minutes is a declaration of who we are and what we value. Organizing the day with a priority list is, therefore, much more than writing tasks. It is intentionally designing the path we want to follow. Think of your day as a blank canvas which, without clear guidance, can be filled with stains and scattered, meaningless strokes. But when you decide what is most important, what deserves your attention and energy, you begin to paint a coherent and meaningful masterpiece where every stroke adds value and beauty. That is the magic of a priority list. It's not about doing everything, nor falling into the hyper-productivity trap that only leads to exhaustion and stress. Organizing well involves discerning, choosing, and sometimes, most importantly, renouncing. Emerson valued simplicity because he knew true wisdom lies in focusing and deepening, not dispersing aimlessly. Simplify and focus on the essential could well be his mantra. For example, the Ivy Lee method, choosing only 6 of the most important tasks for the next day and focusing on them one by one, fits perfectly with this philosophy. Or the 3 key tasks rule, which invites you to identify just 3 crucial goals that will make a difference during your day. The key lies in prioritizing quality over quantity. By organizing your day, you also learn to say no to what does not add value, what only consumes energy or distracts. Saying no is one of the bravest and most liberating acts we can practice, because every no is a yes to what truly matters. Emerson invites us to cultivate that courage and clarity, not to be swayed by external demands or apparent urgency, but to choose consciously. This habit not only increases productivity, but also improves mental health, reduces anxiety, and creates a deep feeling of control and peace. When you know what you're going to do and why, decisions flow, the mind calms, and energy is directed toward what matters. For example, imagine starting your day with a clear list, responding to an important email, dedicating time to a personal project, and exercising. These 3 intentionally chosen priorities allow you to progress in urgent matters and what is valuable to you, maintaining balance. You avoid dispersing energy in countless minor tasks that only make you feel busy, not fulfilled. Emerson, from his transcendentalism, reminds us that we are creators of our reality and that self-governance is key to living authentically and powerfully. Organizing with priorities is a practical and concrete expression of that inner governance. In practicing this habit, it is also vital to cultivate flexibility and self-compassion. Life is unpredictable, and the list will never be perfectly followed. Adapting when necessary and not punishing yourself for imperfection is part of the path toward a balanced and healthy life. When we reflect on organizing the day, Emerson invites us to live intentionally, not letting life merely happen to us, but consciously shaping our day and consequently our lives. Because as he said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. True strength to organize and prioritize arises from that inner power we must nurture with care and respect. In our constant search to improve our lives, we often focus on the mind, thoughts, and productivity, forgetting a fundamental truth that Ralph Waldo Emerson deeply understood. The body and mind are inextricably connected. We cannot cultivate a clear mind and elevated spirit if we neglect the vehicle that supports them, our body. Emerson, a great admirer of nature and authentic connection with our surroundings, saw movement not only as a physical act, but as a vital gesture, a manifestation of the energy and life flowing within us. For him, walking among trees, feeling the wind, or simply allowing the body to expand in movement was a way of communing with the universe and our own essence. Moving every day, even if only a little, seems simple, but holds profound, transformative power. Modern life, with its comforts, has made many people spend hours sitting, static, disconnected from this natural source of energy that is movement. Yet, as Emerson teaches us, vitality is not a luxury, but a necessity for the soul and intellect. From a philosophical perspective, moving is a way to honor the gift of life we've been given, to care for ourselves and maintain connection with the world around us. It is also a way to free the mind from rigidity and stagnation, opening space for creativity, inspiration, and mental clarity. Modern science supports what ancient wisdom intuited. Daily movement, even a short walk, stretch, or gentle exercise, activates the production of endorphins, called the hormones of happiness. It helps reduce stress, improves focus, and balances emotions. But beyond the physiological, moving daily connects us with our inner strength and capacity for action. Imagine integrating 5 or 10 minutes of walking, stretching, or deep breathing into your daily routine. This small gesture can spark new energy, a calmer state of mind, and greater capacity to face daily demands. Emerson invites us to see nature as a teacher, where trees sway in the wind, rivers flow endlessly, and animals move with grace and purpose. As part of that universe, we are designed for movement, for continuous action, and constant renewal. Yet it is crucial to listen to the body and respect its timing. It is not about exhausting oneself, but committing gently and consistently to oneself. Moving means flowing, keeping life circulating in every cell and thought. The habit of moving every day is an act of self-love, affirming that we value our physical and mental health, cultivating resilience and vitality. Emerson reminds us that caring for the body is caring for the spirit, and that both nourish each other. Adopting this habit, you will notice how energy multiplies, the mind clears, and readiness to face challenges grows. The sense of harmony with yourself and the world deepens, and life gains a more balanced rhythm. To make it accessible, you don't need hours free or a gym membership. Small daily movements, climbing stairs, stretching upon waking, walking around the block, dancing for a minute to your favorite song, are valid and powerful. Consistency and intention matter most. In Emerson's words, the first step toward wisdom is taking care of yourself. This step happens every time you choose to move, every time you activate that vital force within. Thus, moving daily is much more than a physical matter. It is a philosophical practice of connection, respect, and love for life, a seed that, when nurtured, grows wellness in every area of your existence. The act of learning is undoubtedly one of the fundamental pillars upon which a full and meaningful life is built. Ralph Waldo Emerson, philosopher and poet of transcendentalism, considered the growth of the spirit and mind as one of humanity's noblest aspirations. For him, education was not merely accumulating data or information, but the constant expansion of consciousness and the opening of the mind to new ideas, experiences, and perspectives. When we talk about the habit of learning something new every day, we are not necessarily referring to complex courses or formal studies. Rather, it is about adopting a permanent attitude of curiosity, humility, and openness that allows us to enrich ourselves continuously, turning every day into an opportunity to grow and evolve. Emerson said, "The mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returns to its original dimensions." This powerful phrase encapsulates the essence of this habit. Each small daily learning transforms our perception, understanding, and consequently, our way of living. Learning something new not only increases our knowledge, but also frees us, making us freer and more aware of our potential. A continuous learning mindset is a powerful antidote to routine and stagnation. In a society that changes rapidly, where information multiplies and possibilities are endless, keeping the mind active and open is indispensable to adapting and thriving. This habit strengthens resilience because learning something new means facing the unknown courageously, overcoming frustration, and celebrating progress. In practice, learning can take many shapes and sizes. It can be reading an article that sparks curiosity, listening to an inspiring podcast, exploring a new word in another language, or even deeply reflecting on a philosophical idea. The essential thing is to keep alive the flame of interest and motivation to discover and understand. Emerson especially valued contact with nature and introspection as sources of wisdom. Thus, learning is not restricted to books or academia, but includes direct experience, attentive observation, and openness to the teachings that the world and people around us offer. This habit also cultivates humility and patience, as learning is a never-ending process that often requires effort and perseverance. It is not about accumulating knowledge to show off, but integrating what is learned into daily life, allowing it to transform us and push us to be better. Motivational phrases such as, "Every day is a new opportunity to grow," or "Learning is the path to freedom," remind us that knowledge is not a destination, but a journey that enriches every step we take. From Emerson's point of view, this path of constant learning is also an act of self-love and respect for our own evolution. Cultivating the mind is as essential as caring for the body or spirit, because we are an integrated whole, and each part needs attention and nourishment. Adopting the habit of learning something new every day also connects us with our creativity and allows us to discover hidden talents or interests. Every new piece of knowledge is a puzzle piece that fits into the larger picture of our identity, helping us better understand who we are and where we want to go. Finally, it is important to create a space and moment for this habit. It can be a morning routine, a break during the day, or a moment before sleeping. What matters is that this learning becomes a natural and joyful part of our daily life, not another obligation or task. Thus, with every new thing we learn, we expand not only our mind, but also our capacity to live with purpose, awareness, and joy, just as Emerson inspires us to do with his words and philosophy. In a world moving at a dizzying pace where obligations, stress, and worries seem to take most of our time and energy, stopping to reflect and practice gratitude may seem like a luxury, or even an act of rebellion against the rhythm imposed by modern life. However, Ralph Waldo Emerson, with his deep philosophical and spiritual insight, invites us to do precisely that, to close the day with a conscious gaze, calm reflection, and a grateful heart. Reflecting at the end of the day is more than reviewing events or tasks completed. It is an act of presence, a connection with oneself and the deep essence of the lived experience. Emerson understood life as a constant flow of learning and growth, and reflection is the bridge that allows us to integrate what we have lived, understand our mistakes, celebrate our victories, and adjust course if necessary. It is the pause that offers wisdom and calm. Closing the day with gratitude is a practice that transforms this reflection into a powerful force that nourishes the soul. Gratitude, far from being a fleeting feeling, is a permanent attitude that changes the way we see the world and ourselves. Emerson reminds us, cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and your life will be filled with more. This simple yet profound statement reveals the secret of true abundance. It is not having more, but appreciating more. Practicing gratitude daily shifts our mental focus. Instead of concentrating on what is missing, what went wrong, or difficulties, we learn to recognize and value what we do have, what we have achieved, and the small blessings that often go unnoticed. This perspective shift generates well-being, reduces anxiety, and improves emotional health. Reflection and gratitude together form a powerful tool to cultivate inner peace and prepare the mind for restorative rest. Emerson, who valued harmony between body, mind, and spirit, knew that the quality of sleep largely depends on the mental state with which we close the day. An agitated or worry-laden mind rarely finds deep rest. In practice, simple routines can be adopted to cultivate this habit. Keeping a journal where you write 3 things you are grateful for each night. Spending a few minutes meditating, silently recalling the day's positive moments, or simply pausing consciously before sleeping. To breathe deeply and give thanks. The form does not matter as much as intention and consistency. Moreover, gratitude has an expansive effect reflected in our relationships. By valuing what others do for us and recognizing their importance, we strengthen bonds and foster an environment of support and love. This social aspect of gratitude is essential for a balanced and fulfilling life. Emerson also invites us to understand that gratitude is an act of humility and recognition that we are not alone in the world, but connected to others and something greater than ourselves. This sense of belonging and connection is essential for lasting well-being and happiness. Finally, reflecting and closing the day with gratitude is a commitment to our own evolution. It is choosing to see life through a wise and loving lens, learning from every experience and valuing the journey traveled. It is a habit that, cultivated with patience and dedication, transforms not only our days but our way of being in the world. In Emerson's words, this habit can be summarized: gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. Adopting this practice opens the door to a fuller, happier life in harmony with ourselves and the universe. We have traveled together a conscious path toward personal transformation through 5 habits that, although seemingly ordinary, hold the power to change your life forever. These habits, waking up early and dedicating time to yourself, organizing your day with clear priorities, moving every day, learning something new daily, and closing with gratitude and reflection, are the tools with which we build our destiny, step by step, day by day. Ralph Waldo Emerson has guided us in this exploration with his deep and eternal voice, reminding us that the only person you are destined to be is the person you decide to be. We are not passengers of life, but conscious creators. Every habit we cultivate is a seed planted in the garden of our existence, and its care determines the beauty and strength of our work. Life, as Emerson said, is a journey, not a destination. In that journey, intention, discipline, and openness to growth are the lights that illuminate our way. Don't seek instant changes or miracles overnight. Changing life is a patient work, built with every small act, repeated with love and constancy. Now I invite you to choose one of these habits to start today. You don't need to begin with all or do it perfectly. Just start. Take that first step with courage and conviction. Remember, in perseverance lies the magic of transformation. Share in the comments which habit inspires you most, which you want to incorporate, and how you plan to do